Okay, that's a pretty good shot. That will be the thumbnail. Hello everyone, this is Cypher talking, and we're going to be starting on the Rise of Napoleon.
So, still a bit groggy, are we? Don't worry, the sedative will wear off soon enough. Easy now, no need to hurry. Get your bearings and report to me upstairs.
Wait, she passed me a roofie? Oh, poor Napoleon. No wonder why you're so angry all the time.
So it wasn't a dream after all.
Okay. Let's start looking for loot. Divinity Original Sin 2 is one of the best games that Larian Studios has ever made, and is honestly a joy to play. With the ability to make a completely unique characters and thousands of different types of builds, and honestly devilishly hard combat, it just becomes a joy just to start and restart again, just experimenting with different builds. Admittedly, I have played this game before, but never on highest difficulty. This is Tactician mode with honor mode activated. So naturally, we're going to be trying to avoid as many battles as possible.
Hey, get me out of this cage and I'll make it worth your while. You in?
I am carefully. Why is he in a cage in the first place?
Your guess is as good as mine. Someone screamed loud as a banshee. After that, pure pandemonium. They never even told me what I was accused of. Just dragged me down here.
So your plan is to ask me to let you out while there's still a guard. We overpower the guard, then what? We're still on a boat in the middle of the ocean. And two people can't man this boat. And we can definitely not fire our way through. So let's turn our back on him.
Suit yourself. But we're all in the same boat here, so to speak. I'll await your return.
I like that. The build I'm going for with this playthrough is the classic Holy Trinity. Damage, edge, healer, or tank. And the unique thing about Divinity is that there's also the battle controller in the mix. So I'm building Napoleon here as a battle controller. His starting skills being mainly focused on summoning A2 battle. And buffing teammates. Eventually, we're going to be adding some
solution, was it?
geomancer skills and hydrosurface skills to help control and manipulate the battle even more.
Nowhere to go but up.
Admittedly, this is one part of the whole logic that I don't quite understand. Why am I being allowed to steal everything that's not nailed down? And eventually, why am I allowed to steal the nails and everything that was nailed down?
Why, you're looking a bit more chipper. Yes, there you are. Not too tight, I hope. The collar, I mean. Oh, not to worry. Every dog has to get used to its leash. In the meantime, your next stop will be Magister William. All passengers have to be registered in the ship's manifest, and he's the chap in charge of the logs. You'll find him on the other side of this deck, in the officers' quarters.
Give the Magister a quick salute and report for duty on the good ship.
The good ship Merryweather. But you can stand at ease there, Private. You do realize you're not in the army here, don't you?
Index fingers pressed to her lips, she pauses a moment to give you a scrutinizing gander.
My word, you do seem a bit befuddled, don't you? Perhaps I was a bit too generous with that sedative. Oh, well, I'm sure you'll soon gather your wits. Most likely. Eventually. In the meantime, all you need to know is that we're en route to Fort Joy. A new life awaits, and if you're a particularly good boy, perhaps a cure as well. An end to sauce. For good.
You pull at the thing around your neck futilely, demand to know why she collared you.
Why, for my peace of mind, of course. Why don't you try casting one of those sauce spells of yours? See what happens.
Okay, she's talking about peace of mind, but I have a shiv and she's in arm's reach. Not exactly the brightest idea. You recall great powers building inside you, the ones you commanded before your capture. Unleash them.
Currents of magic surge inside you, boiling, bursting, then breaking, only to fade back into your soul like rain into the earth.
My, look at the concentration on your face. All will, but no result. There you have it. See? The collar's function. It neuters you of sorts. Makes you unable to cast sauce. For your own peace of mind, of course. Yours and the whole world's.
Good gods, there's been a murder here.
A young magister stands pale and silent. Her knuckles whiten around her weapon as you pass. Behind the magister, a bloodied mass lies in a heap. Gore and limbs lie at odd angles. You can't make out a face amid the mess.
Avoid looking into the room. Between the lurching ship and the smell of blood, you feel a little sick.
Easy now. You're paling me arse. Why don't you move along? Waters is investigating. She'll figure out who did it. Always does.
Pause. Always does? Ask if this sort of thing happens often.
You surprised? You're one of them. You know what sorcerers are capable of? Whoever did this found a way around their collar and killed a man. Small ones this time, thank the gods. We'll find out who did it, one way or another.
So there is a way to beat the collar.
No marks, no indications of a struggle. Ugly sight, isn't it? Burns me up this happened under our protection. We're extremely lucky no Voidwalker can follow the source that did this.
Ask why she's letting you so close to the crime scene. For all she knows, you could be the killer.
She looks up at you with a mirthless smile.
I was on duty in your room when the murder happened. You were asleep the whole time. Didn't even stir. You're one of the only indisputably innocent people on the ship. Unless you can commit murder in your sleep, of course.
Tell her that's a trick you haven't quite mastered.
I thought as much. Listen, I could use someone to keep their ears open among the passengers. Sometimes they clam up in front of a uniform. Bring me a good lead, and I'll throw in a shiny gold coin for you. How about that?
Say that you're no snitch.
A dwarf of principle. I get it. Wonder how you'll feel when whoever did this does it again. You let me know if you hear anything. Whoever did this is dangerous.
Well, since don't have anything else to do, well, let's start talking with the guests. First up is Sybil.
An elf sits tucked away in a dark spot, lazily rolling dice onto the surface of a barrel. They sound like the dry cackling of an old witch.
Snake eyes.
She chuckles.
I bet that's just what they'll look like.
Wonder what she's doing.
Rolling dice. Deciding fates.
Frown. Whose fate is she deciding?
Don't worry, honey. It isn't yours.
She looks you up and down with the merest hint of a coy smile on her lips.
Never say never, though.
If she can decide fates with dice, ask if she can read the future in calendar rolls as well.
She eyes you quite seriously.
Not the future, no. But I can read the past in flesh. One of the perks of being an elf, you see. I'm quite good at it, too. I could lick your arm and tell you how you spent the night before last. Shall I?
Decline, you don't know where her tongue has been.
She chuckles once more.
That red-cheeked refusal tells me more than licking you would. But suit yourself, darling.
A key. Where does it go? Poison bottle. And I have a shiv. Now, where's that? Ah, here we are.
I've seen more appetizing things coming out of plague-stricken pigs.
There's nothing else I can make, Your Majesty. Turnips and water are all I was
Unacceptable. I've never dined on anything less than a dozen horses, and I don't intend to do away with the custom.
there has been a murder, Your Majesty.
That's going to be helpful. Eventually.
Don't you get saucy with me when you clearly don't know the first thing about the sauce.
Good. That'll be useful.
A scruffy man lounges against the wall with scarred arms folded. A sly smile playing on his face, he stares across at the Magister guarding him. Noticing you, he straightens and beckons for you to come closer.
Watch your back, new fish. There's a murderer on board and I paid 3 months' pay against this tramp Ifan.
Rolling his eyes at the Magister's warning, the man named Ifan beckons again.
For some reason, your instinct cries out to salute to Infan. So you do.
Ifan seems amused at the gesture, but he bats your arm down from the salute when the Magister sees what you're doing.
You served?
Tell him, indeed you did. You served your queen.
Ah, my word. Canniest sappers on Rivellon. Served Lucian myself. A long, long time ago now. Long before Source became reason to leash a man like a dog.
He leans in and adjusts your collar with a sharp tug, balancing its weight so it no longer presses unpleasantly on your neck. He winks.
Pinches less that way, right?
Hocking a phlegmy gobbet in your general direction, the sullen Magister settles back to his task of glowering at Ifan. And now, you.
Ask Ifan why the Magister suspects him of murder.
We used to know each other, more's the pity. I was his commander many, many, many moons ago. Isn't that right, Vic?
Standing far back from Ifan, the tight-faced Magister draws one finger across his throat in an elaborate fashion, but says nothing. Ifan grins, flashing pointed white teeth.
Same as he was at 14 years old. Only difference is somebody gave him a bigger sword and now he's Johnny Big Pants.
Ask Ifan what he did to find himself at the mercy of a subordinate.
Long story. Maybe I'll tell you about it in the joy. Away from interested parties.
I've never dined on anything less than a dozen of fish, and I don't intend to do away with
Say that you're still curious about the murder. Did he do it?
No. The dead man, Finn, is it? I'd no business with him. And I wouldn't put a man down without good reason.
He glances over at Magister Victor, who's staring back at him with pointed intensity.
Damn shame sheer annoyance isn't reason enough.
Ask Ifan if he knows anything about where you were headed at Fort Joy.
The Joy? I've heard a lot. Nothing good. No surprise there, since Bishop Alexander runs the show. Wonder if we'll get to meet the ringmaster himself.
Say you've no interest in Alexander. All you care about is surviving Fort Joy.
Not interested in the son of the divine himself. I don't blame you one bit. But Vic here will blow a blood vessel if he hears you talking like that.
What are you conspiring about over there? You, dwarf, what's your name?
Oh, don't mind him. Vic's just got a bee in his bonnet. And that bee is me.
Name?
Tell him your name.
Magister Victor looks at you suspiciously, then scrawls something illegible down in a tiny notebook. He scowls at you as he stows the notebook back in his voluminous robes.
Away with you, at once.
Ifan performs an elaborate pantomime of keeping quiet, one finger in front of his lips as he leans back against the wall.
My name, it's Napoleon Bonaparte. Emperor of France.
A broad dwarf sits totally upright on the bench, eyes closed, palms face up on his knees. His beard is a cascade of meticulous plaits, each one braided through with golden medallions. He raises an eyebrow as you approach, but doesn't open his eyes.
Listen up, boy. You hear that?
Ask what you're meant to be hearing.
The ship, of course.
Quiet and listen to the sounds of the ship.
A wave of sound washes over you. The unintelligible chatter of your shipmates, the groaning of wood from floor to ceiling, the boom, crash and crackle of waves around you, complaints from the sea itself.
And?
Tell him the ship is moaning like a sick man.
Sick as a leper's cat. From the state of it, I'd say she's being cared for by a bunch of beardless babes who never loved anyone but their own mums. But there's more. Listen close.
Close your eyes and try to let the ambient sounds on the ship fade away.
There now, just like that.
Squeak!
Aha!
His eyes snap open as his countenance breaks into an expression of joy. One great paw claps you on the back. The other catches you before you lose your footing.
There. You heard it, didn't you? I knew it. I knew it. Aye, this is good news, boy. Good news.
Ask what got him so excited. That was nothing more than a rat.
No, you beautiful idiot. That wasn't any rat. It was the wheel. Squeaks whenever the helmsman jerks it clockwise, which means we're heading east. Burn my beard. That means if we've been travelling for, yes, only 10.34 nautical miles to Fort Joy.
Tell him he shouldn't talk like that about such a magnificent beard.
Ah, so you've eyes as well as ears, eh? You'll go far, mate, even here.
No, he must be a practiced sailor. Ask what the figure means to him.
Captain, actually. And that figure tells me we're getting close to the Joy. Close to what lies beyond it, too.
The dwarf leans back from the table and strokes his beard, gold medallions jingling merrily. His eyes roll over to you.
That'll be all. Thank you kindly, boy.
Cock an eyebrow if he's hatching a escape plan you want in. Or say nothing but look him over once before leaving. You may want to find him again inside Fort Joy.
Stay away from the Magisters, brother. They killed that fellow back there. They'll hide the evidence well enough, but I know it all the same.
Okay, so we have a paranoid on board.
It was one of them. I know it.
Ah, there you are. Husband. Would
Well,
you
this is
please
twist.
tell this very charming gaggle of not at all brat-like babes that I am by no accounts this Losa woman, nor do I sing, in fact. I'm deathly allergical.
Play along and take her arm with a grin. Tell the children they must be mistaken.
How very correct you are, spouse of mine. Madame Josephine Gribbles de Peeb refuses to be confused with anyone else. What? What's so funny?
Her pinched face cracks into a great grin, and she shoos the children away from her with a laugh.
Yeah, okay, you found me out. Go on and git, and maybe I'll sing you something when I'm good and ready.
She turns to you, dark-eyed and dirty-haired, and smiles flatly.
Gotta keep ourselves entertained, haven't we?
Say that's true enough. Shake her hand, Losa, you presume?
You presume right.
Ask if she knows anything about the murder that happened on board.
Nope. Trying not to find anything out either. Ignorance is bliss. The utterer, the better.
Tell her she ought to have a look around with you. You can watch each other's back.
Thanks, but I already belong to an elite and exclusive ship gang. We play ball every day after lunch. You're too soft for it. You take care, though.
Suddenly, her eyes cloud to an unnatural black. Greyish veins run down her face, and her mouth tightens into a cruel sneer. As quickly as they came, the clouds clear. She smiles as though no change came over her.
Good luck, Chief.
What are you trying to hear anyway?
I'll tell you if you can keep it quiet long enough for me to listen.
The Red Prince.
Well, well. What have we here? A fresh face in this stale hell. Let's size you up, shall we? See if you'll do.
The lizard looks you up and down, like a farmer would a fetching horse. All of a sudden, he grips you firmly by the chin, with the intent of inspecting your teeth.
The nerve! Slap away his hand hard.
My, we are fierce, aren't we? Not to worry. I'll soon remedy that. Now then, to business. You will answer me 3 questions. The first one is this. Can you cook?
Okay, so he probably doesn't see us as an equal. Also, if we brag, he's seeing us as livestock basically. So if you brag, he might try to buy us. So let's lie through our teeth. Laugh and say you can hardly tell a turkey from a turnip.
Oh, goodness, no. And don't even mention the demon's testes that are turnips. On to the second question. Can you knit, weave? In short, tailor?
Stick a thumb through one of the holes in your garb and say, these provide cool in summer.
Yes, I can tell from your vagabond chic, a bag is as good as a shirt kind of style. I shouldn't be getting my hopes up. On then to my final query. Have you the ability to administer the upkeep of one's personal appearance? The delicate art of cosmetics is what I'm after.
Rubbing your chin, tell him you're trying to recall the last time you bathed. What month is this?
Just as I thought. That explains what's besieging my nostrils. So, 3 questions asked, 3 questions answered. Let's evaluate, shall we? As per your own testimony, you have the taste buds of a dung beetle, the fashion sense of a monkey in a clown suit, and your personal hygiene reminds one of a carcass rotting in the sun. That won't do at all, see? I'm sad to say I must deny you the opportunity to be my slave. Ever so sorry.
Well, let's keep on the charade, assume a sad face, and tell him you're mightily disappointed.
I know, but you just don't have what it takes. A good slave's made of sterner stuff, I'm afraid. Still, hone your skills, and one day you may just qualify for a position in a lesser household than mine. You keep dreaming, you hear?
If I have the ability, I'm conquering his lands first. And abolishing the whole slave trade.
The elf is reading a volume of Cranley Hubert's famous encyclopedia. He looks up, his big round eyes scanning your body, absorbing every detail. He reaches out and examines your face, tugging at your ears and prodding your nose.
Fascinating.
He sits back and returns to his book, flicking quickly from page to page, completely oblivious to your presence.
Ask who you're speaking to.
Ah, yes. The niceties. My name is Fane. I am a scholar from... well, I am a seeker of knowledge. That is enough. It is pleasurable to meet you.
Ask what exactly he's seeking. There's a lot of knowledge in the world.
Is there? Wherever do you keep it? Certainly not in your books. I have been reading this one for several minutes, and I have yet to find a single insight into the mysteries of the universe. It is simultaneously too detailed and insufficient. I know the beginning of this tale and the end, but I am rather missing the middle. Tell me, what do you know of our world's history?
Sigh sadly. The Dwarf Empire was great once, but it shrinks a lot in its recent history.
Oh, please. I have no interest in that. Your books are too full of it already. No, I want to know about the Celestial. I want to know about your gods. This text tells me that they created all creatures, but nothing of what came before. Where did these gods come from? Who are their people? Where are the others of their kind?
Ask why he's so curious about the gods.
The elf's face freezes for just a second before he waves his hand dismissively.
Oh, it's just one of my idle curiosities. We mortals do like to consider these things, do we not? Now please, run along. I have a world to decipher.
Shrug and take your leave. So, to round up, what we have to work with is a possible bad woman, and a fortune teller, a sailor, a disgraced officer, a slaver, and an eccentric scholar. I'm thinking for the team, the scholar, the sailor, and the soldier would be a good combination.
It was one of them. I know it.
But elves have a innate ability that
I'm trying to concentrate.
boosts damage if I pair it with a human. So I'm thinking Sybil plus Ifan.
You keep carrying on.
Since we already have a dwarf,
Picking us off one by one.
adding Fane to it.
Can we just skip to the part where
That
I
will be a
show
good
you
combination
You think me mad?
for damage and research.
insufferable?
Here to register, sir. Good, good. Magister Williams is just about done with the last passenger. You faring okay so far?
Oh, poor Magister paid. Hey, you're just a retail guy. I try to keep your customers happy and content. So, do I go full Karen and say, ask if he be fine, collared like a dog, and stuck in the ship's hold with a corpse and a murderer on their loose? Nah, he's just a minimum wage worker. Tell him you're fine.
Glad to hear it. You head on in now. Williams will get you sorted fast.
Hey, it's the lady from the cutscene.
You spot a sorcerer
Oh, cutscene.
eyeing a pair of nervous-looking magisters. They keep their crossbow trained upon her as she's being interrogated by an officer.
So you admit it then? You murdered that poor fella.
Yes, I did. But of course, that was only the beginning.
She turns her head and looks you straight in the eye.
There are others whose lives must end.
Good God, the woman's mad. You there, sorcerer, go and fetch Magister Siwan. We need to do more than collar this maniac. We need to shackle her, hands and feet.
Sorry, Magister Williams. I believe she is on the other end of the spectrum. Address the sorcerer and ask her what she meant by "there are others whose lives must end."
It means your journey draws to a close. Do stick around for its finale, though, because
She reaches for her collar and simply removes it.
I'm just about to create a scene.
Subdue her, men, quickly. If she casts source, the Voidwoken will come. They'll end us all.
She smiles with wicked satisfaction.
Precisely.
What's happened?
That sounds ominous. Okay. A magic wand. I can sell these later. Okay.
onwards and upwards.
Huh, Fane.
You pass through the door and are suddenly face to face with an undead. His skull is bizarrely angular, and a glorious jewel sits in the middle of his forehead. The skeleton is quickly leafing through a volume of Cranley Hubert's famous encyclopedia, muttering to himself.
No. What damn fools record knowledge on a pulped tree? It catches fire, it turns into must when wet, it cannot even resist acid. No wonder they're so bloody ignorant.
The skeleton looks up and notices you for the first time.
Well, considering that ignorance was defeated by the invention of the printing press and the easily manufacturer of books,
Oh, it's you. Shouldn't you be running and screaming or some such?
There's something familiar about the way he holds that book.
The skeleton groans and looks back to his book, frantically flipping from page to page.
Yes, indeed. It's the look of someone that wants to read the bloody book he's holding. Now, if you're really quite finished, I believe you have lifeboats to flee to.
That's it, the elf. He's that elf that was reading the book.
Please, I was no more an elf than you are those rags you're wearing. I had a mask, rather ingeniously designed, which allowed me to take that primitive form. A mask that was stolen by that damned witch after her little scene. Still, she'll drown with the rest of these fools, and I will simply pluck my mask from her cold, dead hands.
The skeleton holds up his book in one quick, frustrated movement.
That's heartless. He could be saving people right now.
I am trying to discover if there is anyone worth saving. And I will be damned if I let the lives of some mayflies get in my way. Go on, go, swim or drown or do whatever takes your fancy. I have a book to read.
Okay, I'm starting to reevaluate having him on the team. Okay, first battle of the game. We got 2 voidlings, got Magister Knight and a Magister Knight. And we got a Fire Scroll. Let's cast that skill. Burn! Voidlings burn! Okay. Now that they're burning, let's get a Poison Incarnate up. And boost it. And let's get a totem up. Okay. Not enough AP to attack them, which I'm assuming their movement is same as the Incarnate, so let's probably just leave the Incarnate there. Okay. Okay.
That means there's still a chance.
Shut your trap, kid. Children and dwarfs first, just like the old stories say.
The dwarf yanks at one of the nearby ropes to no avail.
Said there were other people down there. We need to help them.
You see those tentacles, kid? It's time for getting the hell out of here.
Call the dwarf a yellow-bellied coward. You'll return to the lower deck and check for survivors.
Thank you! There's a ladder right over there. You can go straight down.
You're gonna be the death of us, you hear? Had to open your big mouth, didn't you?
And is there any loot?
If you can walk, get yourself up on that. There's a boat. Wait. Void broken.
Okay, let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4 voidlings against 3, 6, 7, and characters. Nope, 6. Let's see here. A tactical withdrawal. Throw it and the incarnate. And close the door.
Beardless bugs won't sink a ship on my watch.
I thought Voidwoker was supposed to be scary. Let the games begin.
They who are about to triumph simply
I've faced worse.
Obviously, Napoleon is the consummate and character of bravery. Oh, that's just disturbing looking. There we go. Make sure that's open for them.
Here's something. It's Magister Simon, the one who put on this damn collar.
She tries to speak, but can only gape as she clutches her neck, trying to stem the bleeding of a gushing wound.
Look around for some way to help her.
With jagged movements, she raises her clenched fist and holds out a length of cloth, soaked with some kind of strong-smelling tincture.
Take the cloth and hold it tight to the wound and try to stem the bleeding.
Blood quickly soaks through the cloth. Magister Siwan's mouth opens and closes, her eyes wide in terror.
Hold the cloth tighter to the wound.
It's working. The pressure is stemming the flow of blood. Siwan clutches your arm, her eyes locked with yours. Something within the ship snaps. The floorboards shudder.
Continue holding in the cloth to the wound. Take Siwan's hand and try to help her stand.
Siwan struggles to her feet, clinging to you tightly. The ship lets out a deep groan, then cracks.
Tell him I tried. Tentacles. Lots of tentacles.
I have plans for you, child. Rise.
Honorable Dallas, we lost a ship sailing sorcerer prisoners to Fort Joy. We assume some escaped and broke their collars. Their vile magic lured the Voidwoken. All who were aboard are presumed dead. Yours faithfully into eternity, High Judge Orivan.
Well, with the first area cleared, and we're getting ready to take on Fort Joy, that's where I'm going to be leaving you guys. Anyways, you know the whole drill. Like, comment, and subscribe to the channel so I can be making content like this regularly. Hey, until then, and have a great week.